The library is open and I can't wait to spy on some book lives. My fellow nosies, let's see how messy this one gets. The Neighbour Favour by Christina Forrest. I've never read one of her novels before, so this is a first for me. It's more of a light-hearted one, more fluffy than some of the other things that I've actually reviewed recently. It's a rom-com. It's the first of a 3-part series surrounding 3 sisters. Book 1 is based on Lily, and the other 2 sisters are Violet and Iris, I think. Their stories are 2 and 3, and as far as I know, all 3 books are currently out. So Lily is in publishing. She wants to become a publisher for children's books, but that's not currently what she does. She's not in the job that she wants, but she's trying to figure her career out. And her family feel like she should be in a better job, and her sisters feel like she should be in a relationship with somebody. It really gets his legs because of Lily's family wanting different for her, and she's quite a people pleaser too, so that causes conflict for her in her life. And then we have Nick, who is an author of a book. He has 1 book under his belt. He's an anonymous author, so none of his pictures are out there and his real name isn't out there either. He wants to go through life like this for some reason, and he also travels quite a lot, so he's always in different places. The story between Lily and Nick starts when Lily has seen his book, she's read his book, and she loves it. And she regularly looks online for things about him. She's curious about the author. She wants to know if there's going to be another book, that kind of thing. And she finds a website. And so she emails him. And it starts off with these email exchanges that were really, really cute. It was a really strong way to start off the book. The email exchanges kind of gave me You've Got Mail vibe. However, I don't know why I'm saying that, because I watched You've Got Mail as a kid and I only vaguely remember it, but I do remember there were like email exchanges. I don't really remember anything else. So okay, let's start with the things that I didn't like as much. This first book shouldn't have been the first book. I feel like this should have been like the second or third book in the series, simply because a lot of the things that the sisters were doing in this book were quite unlikable and made me not want to read about their own personal stories. It made me way less interested in reading from the other 2 sisters' perspectives. This might not be the case for you. I'll explain why this was the case for me. Lily's sisters are coming from a loving place. They want her to be in love. They want her to be happy. But the way that they're trying to fix her by continuously forcing her on these blind dates that they know she really doesn't want to go on. They bribe her. They're constantly goading her into these blind dates that they really know she doesn't want to go on, and they know always have a bad ending for her. Like, they never go well for her. And it feels like the message is that you're not complete without a man, and it's a necessity to be in a relationship. Now, I love romance. That's why I have a channel on romance books. I absolutely love it, but I dislike this message. And then on top of that, one of the sisters, I can't remember which sister, but she continuously set her sister up on dates with men that like her. I don't think she's doing this on purpose at all, but it really shows a lack of self-awareness, or not even self-awareness, like reading the room. You can't tell that the guy is really not interested in your sister and he's interested in you, and obviously they're quite close. Like, Lily can't even keep her mouth shut about things that she wants to keep her mouth shut about because she doesn't want the pressure from her sisters, and she ends up telling them anyway. So obviously she's sharing these things with her sisters, and at one point when one of the sisters is trying to set her up, she says, oh well, you know, he probably is just secretly in love with her, and her sister immediately just fobs her off and is like, oh, don't be silly. It's not silliness, because it's not Lily saying this based off of a nonsense reason. It's based off of what has continuously happened to her. And then her mom and her aunts are constantly telling her to change her career and that she needs like a better career. I'm not too bothered about like the mom and the aunts, to be honest, about them telling her. This is just part of the book. But my main gripe about this being something that I don't like is because Violet and Iris are the next up in these books, and because of the way that they acted in this book, it made me not want to read about them. And I know that your characters start off flawed. Of course, Lily is flawed. She's also to blame for this because of her people pleasing. She always gives in to everybody. She is even acting as if she's going to give in to her mom and her aunts, wanting her to change careers, even though that's not what she wants. So that is a flaw that she has to overcome, and I'm fine with that. My main gripe is just the order of the books, really. The order. Also, I felt like a little bit in the middle, it fell off a little bit. So because it started so great with these email exchanges and it was so cute, the emails stop because Nick just decides to ghost her. And that really frustrated me. His reasoning seemed so ridiculous at the time. Like, he was just like, oh, I told a lie about where I was from. And so, like, oh, I can't get into a relationship. And that just felt like a really stupid reason for him to be cutting contact with her. However, later on in the book, everything starts to make a lot more sense. So that gripe is like a annoyance for now, but it all makes so much sense later on. So it's one of those things where you have to stick with the book because it feels like it's going in the wrong direction, but it's not. Another thing that I wasn't quite sold on was the meeting up with his family near the end of the book. I'm not sure that it was really needed in this book. I feel like we could have gotten the same results had he have just gone to therapy. Because I feel like when you have these types of issues, especially when it comes to like family issues, I feel like trying to deal with them too quickly can really come off really badly. Because a lot of the time with these issues, you might not even know that you have an issue because it's so normalized to you. And so when I see this in books and they shove it in near the end and try to do this resolving where they have a conversation and all of a sudden things can just start going in the right direction, they don't do this entirely. So I don't want to act as if this is what this author does. She does it a little bit, but I feel like he needed to do some work on his own first before any conversations really would have felt right. And it's a hard one because obviously Christina Forrest, she's an author. Authors like to write books and they're writing someone's life and they're condensing it into this book, which is just obviously not how real life works. But this is still something I would have liked to change a little bit if he had done a little bit of work on his own first. And that's not to say he doesn't do any work on himself or anything like that. It's not a full negative critique. It's just something that I wish was handled slightly differently. But I still think that Christina Forrest attempted to do a good job with it. Okay, positives. Again, the email exchange was so cute. I loved the way that worked. Also, I liked watching Lily come out of her shell and stop being such a people pleaser and start to do things for her own self. It took her some time and she was actively doing it slowly. So I liked that she was able to stand up to the people in her life and tell them what she needed to tell them and to move her life in a more positive direction. Nick as well. He was able to be vulnerable. I feel like Nick probably overcame the most out of the two in this book just because of how the things in his life affected him. He was a runner. He always ran from every single thing that he could run from. And that's how he coped. Running is a coping style. Whether it's effective or not, that's a different story. But Nick really did a lot of work in this book for himself and to better his life and to feel like he was deserving of good things. I feel like it was handled really nicely. I actually like that out of the two, Nick was the most emotionally vulnerable. I don't mean that he allowed himself to be vulnerable. I mean, he was just emotionally vulnerable, if that makes sense, because I've just said the same thing twice, but hopefully you get what I'm trying to go with this. But he was still very manly. They didn't make it that him having these feelings made him less of a man. which I think is important to see in literature of all types. This one had 0 grammatical issues that I found personally. It's nice to read, it's easy. I did like the chemistry between the two. I actually probably liked their chemistry more when they were doing their email exchange, especially because once they meet, there's a bunch of crossed wires, but they do overcome everything, and then I end up liking it all over again, their chemistry all over again. They're very drawn to each other, and it does give you the feeling that it was just meant to be, that they needed to find each other, that they would always find each other. It kind of gave that kind of vibe, and I found that to be really cute. Okay, let's get to the rating of this book. I thought it was nice and it was cute. So I would say out of 5, I would give this one a 3.5. It was a nice book. It was cute. It was sweet. I love me a good romance. I love me a good rom-com. And in terms of the spice level, there are not that many spicy scenes. But again, we are not counting how many scenes. We're just counting the spice level. I would give it a 3 as well. It was just, you know? It was nice. It was okay. Now we're done. On to the next.